All right, so the first pyramid we're going to look at is the rectangular pyramid. Okay, rectangular pyramid. A square, remember, a square pyramid is a form of rectangle. A square is a form of rectangle, so a square pyramid, rectangular pyramid, you do them all the same. All right, so let's go ahead and draw these really quick. Again, follow along with me so you can see how to draw these. To do a rectangular pyramid, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a dotted line just straight across, not too long. Then I'm going to follow with the exact same line length, but a solid line, not dotted, and just a little bit underneath and to the left. It's important that those two lines are the same length. Okay, that they're the same length. And then I'm going to make this line right here solid to make a parallelogram, and this one I'm going to put as a dashed or dotted line. That represents the base of our shape. It is a four-sided figure, so we'll just call it a rectangle for now. All right, and then we're going to put a dot right up here. And we're going to connect the lines with the dot. So this one's a little bit sloppy. I can do better. Okay, so we have here a rectangular pyramid. Hopefully yours looks something like that. If not, it just takes a little bit of practice. And it's called a rectangular pyramid because the base is a rectangle. All right, and let's give this some numbers so we can see. Or actually, we'll give it numbers in just a second. So the first thing you have to realize again, how did this compare to the regular prism that we just talked about? Right? It was base times height times length. Well, this one's gonna be like this: base, height, and then there's gonna be another measurement here that goes straight down the middle. And this is, we're going to use our cursive L, just like we did yesterday. We're going to call that one the height or the length of the shape. So now what are we going to do? Let's do our formula, right? The formula for the big blue box, the rectangular prism, was this. Volume is equal to base times height times the length. But remember, that was for a rectangular prism. We had to think about in our demonstration how many of the pyramids fit inside, right? And on that one, the square, this pyramid, okay, fit inside the rectangular prism 3 times. So you're just going to divide by 3. That's it. You're going to divide by 3 because a pyramid can fit inside a rectangular prism 3 times. If you filled it up with rice and poured it all in, you'd be able to pour it 3 times into an equivalent base size rectangular prism. So let's give these some numbers just so you guys can see. Like for example, let's say that B was actually 5 inches. Let's say H was actually 4 inches. And we'll say that L, the length, was actually 6 inches. So have your handy dandy calculator ready, and let's go ahead and calculate this. Here we go. So volume is equal to 5 base times 4 height times 6 length, all divided by 3. Go ahead and put that into your calculator. And you should get 40 inches cubed. Okay, 40 inches cubed. So again, this is your formula. This is the formula that will help us for any time you see a rectangular pyramid, base times height times length, divided by 3. Divided by 3. So again, we'll go over all of them at the end so you can kind of see a summary of the different shapes that we have. Okay, now think about the other pyramid that we had, the triangular pyramid. Triangular pyramid. All right, so we're going to draw this one. This one is not too bad. First thing I want you to do is start with like a dotted line. Then I want you to draw a triangle, but don't have it centered, be a little bit off center, kind of more obtuse of a triangle. All right, I'm going to put a dot right there in the center, and I'm going to draw my lines towards that dot. There's 1, there's 2, and there is 3. And don't worry, you won't have to draw anything that's not going to be part of your grade or anything like that. And to make this easier, I'm also going to say this is a 90-degree angle. That's important because remember, the base and the height have to be at a 90-degree angle for a triangle to work. All right, let's go ahead and say that this is our B and our H, and then we need the height of the whole thing. This is our length here. All right, so here we go. Here's the formula. Remember, you got to remember how many of those small triangular pyramids fit into the big rectangular prism. So we start with the same thing. We multiply base times height times length. But we divide not by 3, but remember, it took twice as much, right? Every rectangular or triangular pyramid there are 2 that fit into the rectangular pyramid, which means it took us 6 to fit inside. Does that make sense, right? We said there were 6. It said it took 6 of those to fill up the whole rectangular prism. All right, so here we go. Let's put some numbers on this. Let's say this is 8 centimeters. Let's say this is 6 centimeters. And we'll say the one in red is 10 centimeters. So let's just plug it into the calculator, guys. Just put it in the calculator. All you have to do is that. All you have to say is, okay, base, so 8 times 6 times 10, and divide it all by 6. And that is how you find the volume that you're looking for. All right, so we put it in our calculator, 8 times 6 times 10 divided by 6, and we should get 80 inches cubed. So there's your formula right there. So here's the tricky part, is just remembering which one to divide by what, okay? And so think about it, right? The best way is to think about it. Go in an order. Rectangular prism's the biggest, then triangular prism, then rectangular pyramid, then triangular pyramid, right? Because rectangles are bigger than triangles, given the same dimensions. And remember also, the bigger the number you divide by, the smaller the amount is. So if I had 10 pieces of candy and I had to divide it by 2 people, hey, that's great. We each get 5. If I had 10 pieces of candy and I had to divide by 100 people, that's not so good. We only get a fraction of the candy, right? So you have to understand that as the number on the bottom gets bigger, the shape gets smaller. Or you could go the other way. If you're dealing with a smaller shape, you have to divide by a bigger number, whether that be 3 or 6. All right. So again, these are the two formulas. Base times height times length divided by 3, and base times height times length divided by 6. That's how you find the volume of pyramids.